Your assignment this week is to do J4 and J10 on IXL for support. So I'm just going to give you a couple of examples from each one to make sure you're good to go. So we are looking at number J.4, which is just two-step equations. So I've got it written down already. So what I need to do is get D by itself. So I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides because I have to get this whole thing by itself. Nine minus 7 is 2. So now I need to get D by itself, and I've got a division problem. So I know the opposite of division is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2 because what I do to one side I have to do to the other. D's cancel out. I get D is equal to 4. Look at IXL. Move forward. Let's see one that's a little bit harder. We've got 18 is equal to U divided by 2 plus 15. Not too much harder, just some bigger numbers, right? So we're going to follow the same steps. I have to get the U term by itself. So I need to get rid of this 15. So the opposite adding is subtracting. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So I get 3 is equal to U divided by 2. So since I've got a division problem, I have to get rid of that by doing the opposite of dividing, which is multiplying. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. I get 6 is equal to U. So I've got that. Last one that we're going to do, we've got 5m plus 8 equals negative 77. So this time I need to get m by itself because m is my variable. So I'm going to put my line down the middle. 5m is my term, so I need to get 5m by itself. The opposite of adding 8 is subtracting 8. That cancels. 5m is left over. I've got two negative numbers. Remember, same signs always add. So I'm going to say 77 plus 8. It's going to be 85. And then I always keep the sign when I add them together. So since they're both negative, I'm going to have negative at 85. We got to get m by itself, so we're going to divide by what it's multiplied by. Because I always do the opposite. A negative divided by a positive is a negative. 8 divided by 5 is going to be 1, leaves a 3, so that's going to be 17. You could, of course, put that in the calculator. We're going to get negative 17. And that's how we do J4. That's just a two-step equation. Now what we're going to look at is J10, which is word problems. So we are going to work on writing these down. So Brianna buys 5 postcards each day of vacation. How many days will Brianna have to spend on vacation before she will have bought 15 postcards? Now, I bet that you guys could have done this one in your head, but I'm going to do it on paper just so that we make sure we understand how to do it even when they're super easy. So, it says that she buys 5 postcards each day. So, 5, and then we say per day, right? So, anytime I say the word per, they're going to multiply. So 5 per day means 5 multiplied by days. And then I don't have any to start with, so I'm not going to add anything to it. And we want to know after how many days that is equal to 15. So what I'm going to do is just get this D by itself. Opposite of multiplying is dividing. What I do to one side, I've got to do to the other. So I'm going to get D is equal to 3. Okay? Let's see what the next one says. Julie already has 15 flowers in her garden. And she can grow 1 flower with every seed she uses. With 5 seed packets, how many total flowers can Julie have in her garden? So, we know that we have 1 flower for every packet plus the 15 that were already there. So anytime I say that I already have something, that means that I'm going to add it without multiplying by it. Anytime that I say I can grow 1 flower every day, so that means it's like a per. That means that it's changing every day, so I have to multiply that by that. So we're going to have 1 per packet. It says with 5 seeds packets, how many can she grow? Well, they told me how many packets I have, so I just need to do 1 times 5, because that was how many packets I have. So we're just going to multiply that. 5 plus 15 is 20. Okay. Kayla buys 2 souvenirs during each day of vacation. How many days will Kayla have to spend on vacation before she has bought a total of 16 souvenirs? This looks an awful lot like the first problem we did. So we get 2 souvenirs for every day we're on vacation. I don't have any souvenirs before I go on vacation, so I'm not adding to anything. And we want to know when that is equal to 16, right? So I'm going to get days by itself. Opposite of multiplying is dividing. So we divide both sides by 2, and we get 8 there. I'm going to skip ahead so we can see something that's a little bit harder. Keith has already jarred up 4 liters of jam and will jar an additional 1 liter of jam per day. How much jam did Keith jar if he spent 2 days making jam? So, he's already jarred 4. That means that we put a plus 4 at the end. And then each jar has an additional 1 liter of jam every day. So 1 jar per day, right? How much jam did Keith jar if he spent 2 days making jam? Tongue twister. Okay, so 1 jar of jam per day plus 4 he already had, so we just need to plug in 2 for the number of days that have passed. So 1 times 2 plus 4, that's 2 plus 4 is 6. And I'm going to do one more. Before beginning voice lessons, Katie already knew how to sing 146 pieces. So we always say already means put plus whatever that is on the end. And she expects to learn 1 new piece during each week of lessons. So she's going to learn 1 per week. So each week I learn 1 plus the 146 I already knew. How many weeks of lessons will Katie need to practice before she's able to sing 244 pieces? So we want this to be equal to 244. Now we just need to solve that. So we're going to subtract 146 since it's not multiplied by W. What I do on one side, I have to do on the other. So it's going to take her 98 weeks. Okay, hope that helped you out. Once again, your assignments for this week are J4 and J11.